A Letter to Woman's Home Companion by Jack Larn. Dear Mr. Vance, the building of a snug goes on apace, but the earthquake and fire have sadly delayed the work. Much of material and outfit that ordinarily could have been bought in San Francisco, I have been compelled to send for to New York. Also, freight is slow these days, because every merchant and builder is ordering new materials and stocks from the East, and the railroads are congested. Let me give you an instance. The oak ribs for the boat were ordered from the East and arrived the day after the earthquake. For 4 solid weeks we searched California for the freight car containing these ribs before we found it, and so it has been with everything else. And now, naturally, you want to know what I'm going to do for you, or rather for the Woman's Home Companion. If we are boarded by pirates and fight it out till our deck becomes a shambles, I won't write to account of some for the Woman's Home Companion. If we are wrecked at sea and starve and eat each other, I shall not send you harrowing details of some, nor will I send you any account if we are killed and eaten by the cannibals. Joking aside, as I understand it, what you want me to give is the helpful and interesting and strong, and not the unpleasant, decadent and repellent. I shall try to give what would be of interest to your readers. If I go astray, it's up to you to put me straight again. You'll be able to catch me by mail or cable. You see, I shall depend upon you for this, for while I realize that your readers would not be interested in the reading matter of a sporting weekly, I have not my finger as intimately on the pulse of your readers as you have. I hope this isn't a mixed metaphor. I expect to deal largely with the home life of various peoples, with especial attention to the part that is played by the women and children. I shall knock around a great deal in out-of-the-way places, and shall see ways of living undreamt of by your readers. In addition to home life in general, a number of topics occur to me which I present for your consideration. If you don't like any of them, let me know. Here they are. Domestic problems, social structures, problems of living, cost of living, compared with same in United States, education, opportunities for advancement, general tone of peoples, culture, morals, religion, etc. How they amuse themselves, the marriage and divorce problems, housekeeping, charities, and last but not least, the servant girl problem. But say, Mr. Vance, now that I have nicely jotted down all the foregoing, suppose I shouldn't write a line on it. Suppose I should light upon things vastly more interesting to your readers and write such things up. You see, I want latitude. Will you give it to me? I imagine you know me well enough to guess that I'm no Cook's tourist. I have never liked to travel in the well-oiled grove, even in dealing with editors. I've got to see things for myself in my own way. I remember the way I arrived in Italy. On the train I met a Frenchman who spoke a little Italian and less English. We grew chummy. At Spezio we were delayed by a train wreck. We went sailing in the harbour, and on an Italian man-of-war became acquainted with the boatswain. The latter got shore, liberty, and proceeded to show us the town. Both he and the Frenchman were revolutionists, birds of a feather, you know, and by 3 in the morning there were a dozen of us, singing the Marseillaise and clashing with the police. Now, we wouldn't write such an adventure for a woman's home companion, but you can bet I saw more in one night of a real human life of Spezio than could a whole generation of tourists. As you know, the Snark is a small craft. She is 45 feet long on the waterline, and at sea is to be propelled solely by wind. Yet she is equipped with a 70 horsepower engine. When we strike the land, out go the masts, on goes the engine, and away we go up into the land. For instance, we plan to go up to the Seine, to Paris, up the Thames to London, up the Danube, from the Black Sea to Vienna, up the Amazon and other big South American rivers, and in the United States, up the Hudson, along the Erie Canal and Great Lakes, and down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico. We expect to spend months on the canals of China, a summer at Venice, a winter at Naples, and certainly a winter at St. Petersburg. And because the boat is small and able to go up into the land, I consider that I shall get in far more intimate touch with peoples and conditions than if I merely hung around the ports. I guess my first article to you will be from Hawaii. Don't judge all my articles by what this first one may be. It may be infinitely worse than the rest of the series, and it may be infinitely better. A writer is no more infallible than an editor when it comes to hitting the bull's eye. After Hawaii we sail for the Marquesas. Expect to fool around a lot in the South Seas. I'm sure we'll take in the pearl fishing. Alvega, I'll be able to give your readers some new wrinkles in the cooking of fish, meat, and vegetables. When we are sure to go to Samoa, New Zealand, Tasmania, and Australia. There's a field in itself for you. I'm sure we'll do the Philippines, and I'm equally sure you'll be interested in them. Then there's Japan and the women and children of Japan. And I've already been twice to Japan, and believe me, it requires more than 2 visits to take in all the beauty and wonder of women and children. But life's too short to go on with my whole itinerary. By the way, photos. I'll see that you get plenty of good photographs. Incidentally, I myself taking along only 4 cameras and know how to use them too. If you get ideas, or if your readers suggest to you ideas concerning things to write about, send them along. The ideas, I mean. Of course, you can't bully me into writing what I don't want to write, but your ideas will receive serious attention, and I'm confident, if you are not parsimonious, that you will be able to give me many valuable suggestions. In conclusion, your readers are your clients, while I am my own client. I understand that you are a regular Cerberus. That's all right, but I'm not going to throw any sobs to you. I'm going to ask you to revise my stuff. If you promised you wouldn't, I know you'd revise it anyway. Of such a stuff our editors made. I deliver the goods without swear words in the text, and do you fulfill your divinely appointed task of protecting your readers. But for goodness sake, don't turn all my good red blood to water. Faithfully yours.